So yesterday's D&D vlog that I pushed up to the channel here, we were talking about one-shot adventures. This idea where the stars have aligned and you've gotten together with some great old and new D&D friends to literally play a single adventure. Maybe you got this module and you're like, look, I really want to play it, but it's for level 10. So roll up a character just for this adventure, and here we go. And we looked at some of the positive aspects of that and how to use that for character and player development. So within that framework, I want to jump on the opposite side, where you're starting out at level 1. And what happens when you plan out your character? Now, as a DM, we talked about session 0, and I pushed this up to the channel also. Session 0 for me as a DM is letting the players know we're going to start at level 1, and we're going to go to about level 10 or 12. You know, it depends on what you do and where you go and what happens. This is the common knowledge of the realm, of the world, and what do you want to play? I do that in session 0, so this way when you sit down and create your character, you can think, well, what do I want to play? Where do I want to go, right? Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, a recent game playing a monk, we were only going to make it to maybe level 3 or 4. And monks are really kind of ho-hum at the lower levels. I still played a monk because I had the stats that really favored it, but also I knew that going in. So it's not like I was planning to play this monk and we ended at level 5 and I've got a character that's really just now starting to come into their own. So I want the players to be able to figure out their character, especially if you're playing a multi-class, a dual class, or taking different builds. You want to know. You want to know where you're going. So within that framework, we're playing a couple of months, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and we've got a ways to go in the campaign. We're just getting started. But as a player, you realize, you know, the character's really not working out for me. I'm just not feeling it. Didn't quite go in the direction that I had hoped. What do you do as a DM? Now, I want you to own your character. I want that character to be your player personality, your avatar on the table. I want you to take that character in directions that are going to be really fun and exciting with that individual voice and player personality, because that's going to feed back into me as a DM. That's going to give me some adventure hooks. That's going to give me some things to explore, some things to do. So I want you to be excited about your character. If something's not working out, I'm okay with a couple of different options. So the first would be if you've leveled up, and again, there's some differences on the addition of D&D that we're talking about. If you've taken some feats or abilities that just, you know, I was really hoping for something different, I'll let you retool it. I won't charge you some gold. You don't have to go on a quest. Yeah, you know what? Swap them out. See what happens. I'll allow that like once or twice. I won't say swapping out every single game, because then that kind of breaks the character class a little bit, because you might be tailoring things. But if it's a slight retool, look, come up with a narrative. You trained with some new masters. You got some new insights. Something about your personal quest changed. Here you go. No problem. No problem with that. It's a little bit different if you've arrived at a certain level and you're like, look, the character's just not working out at all. So now in handling this, generally speaking, I would allow you to swap a character out at the same level. I would allow you to sell your gear, not book value, you know, not like, look, this tome is worth 20K in the Dungeon Master's Guide. No, it's like if you were selling it, you'll get half, no skill checks to get more, you'll get half, to get you a pool of gold to swap out the exact experience point amount, and you can roll up a new character. I say swap the experience and not the level, because, again, depending on the addition of D&D, you might come in at a higher level or a lower level based on the experience point value. So I allow you to convert to gold, convert your experience, take that experience number, apply it to a new character, level up, and bring you into the game. This isn't something that I would want to have happen 3 or 4 times in a campaign. But again, I really treat it as a DM as a case-by-case basis, because I want you to play that character. I want you to really enjoy what you're playing. So I'm not opposed to retooling, or in a really different case of swapping your character out. But to do every other adventure or to change things like that, we need to approach it case by case. So out of curiosity, as a player, as a DM, how would you handle this? If as a player, you've gotten to a point where you're like, look, we hit level 5. It's not really working out. I'm not feeling it. How do you approach the DM? And as a player, on the opposite side, because the DM is a player, if a player came to you and said, look, I'd like to retool my character, or I'd like to play a different character, how would you approach that, and how would you incorporate that into your game?